Hello, you are very welcome to this very, very short masterclass on the topic of process-focused hypnotherapy versus content-focused therapy. So when our clients come to us for therapy, we have to ask ourselves, what do we want them to focus on? And we've also got to ask ourselves, why? Why do we want them to focus on that part of the experience? You see, no matter what form of counselling, psychotherapy, complementary therapy, coaching, or healing that you offer, it comes down to a choice. And choice number one is, do we focus on the content? In other words, are you going to focus on the content of the problem? That is the story or the narrative that our clients bring to therapy with them. This is how they describe what has happened to them or what is happening to them. And without doubt, you'll get a descriptive overview of the historical timeline of their problem. They will describe their symptoms, and they will also describe their subjective experience. And at this level of awareness, there are so many different modalities you could use to approach their problem. And depending on the kind of problem and the content of that narrative, you might think it's best to explore one of the following as an example. Their need to find approval and acceptance. You might want to track the fear, anxiety, or limiting beliefs that they present. You might want to heal their inner child or use regression work to help them to put the past behind them. You might want to explore rejection issues from past important relationships, or you might decide to deal with ongoing anger, frustration, limiting emotions and stuff like that. Or, you might decide to explore the cognitive distortions and help them to untwist their thinking. You might also look at the coping skills they have and what unhelpful coping behaviors are stopping them from making progress. You might decide to use Gestalt or parts therapy to help them better understand and resolve unconscious inner conflict. Or you could use choice therapy, acceptance and commitment therapy, schema therapy, EMDR. CBT, NLP, REBT, EFT, whatever it is that you have studied and learned, you might decide to use one of these to shine a spotlight on a particular facet of the presenting problem. But there is another way, and this is choice number two. And this is when we decide to actually focus on the process. And by focusing on the process, there is so much that we can gain. You see, focusing on the process is a remarkable way to help your clients to make progress very quickly. It is a way to build therapeutic belief and a way to use positive expectancy so that your clients become empowered and so that you're able to help them to access and to use unconscious resources. Now, these things will all happen when you make that shift and focus on the process rather than focusing on the content. So if you focus on the process, that is the process, how the problem manifests itself, well then you'll discover that you can access what we call the building blocks of experience. Now, this approach is grounded in evidence-based hypnotherapy. It is used and applauded by psychologists and thought leaders such as Milton Erickson, Ernest Rossi, and Michael Yapko. And it's highly effective because it gets underneath the content and focuses on how our clients unconsciously create their symptoms. Now, the process-focused hypnosis that I teach examines the building blocks of our client's experience. And we help them to fully understand exactly how they generate their problem and what experiences, internal processes, and external experiences trigger it. Now, our focus processed questions that we ask help us to discover the series of steps that a person needs to take in order to create the problem and to maintain it. And we, in particular, what we do is we examine the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, the reactions, and the beliefs that don't just cause the problem, but maintain that problem. And we help them to understand that as long as they think, feel, and act this way, that they will get the same predictable results. And by working with the building blocks of their lived experience, that's their lived experience within their body and mind, we get to what we call the felt source of their experience. We examine what's happening in their body through their feelings and behaviors, and we help them to tune in to what's happening in their brain through their thinking, their cognitions, and their beliefs. And we help them to tune into how they are responding and reacting to significant people and those events and experiences in the world around them. Now, if you help your clients to move away from the content of their problem, that is their story, and instead to focus on the process, well, then you'll find that the symptoms that show up in their mind, their body, and their life will begin to disappear. If you focus on the process, that is the building blocks of the problem, if you focus on this first, you'll soon discover that all of the amazing things that you have learned will become more potent, more useful, and far more effective. And I have a saying that I share with all of my students and graduates, and it goes like this: if we focus on the process, the outcome will take care of itself. Let me just say that to you again. If we focus on the process, the outcome will take care of itself. Now, I teach focus processed hypnosis on the triple diploma course. But if you would like to complete a primer in process focused hypnotherapy, well then you are warmly invited to purchase my book and to join me live online. I'll post the book out to you. I'll take you through process focused hypnosis, and we'll be using this book that I've created called Coach the People You Love to help you understand how to use process focused hypnotherapy. And then I hope after that you will consider joining me on the triple diploma course this autumn. This is Susan Wallace saying thank you so much for your leadership and your time, and I hope to see you live, online, or in person soon. I'm here to help you be the best, have the best, and give your best to your clients.